Hind everyone, I welcome you all to my channel Master SSB, and today's picture is in front of your screen, a very popular and a much awaited photo which you all have been requesting. In this picture, we see a young man in his early 20s holding an umbrella while walking in the rain. His head is slightly lowered and his posture is forward moving, making his way through a heavy downpour. There are trees in the background, placing the scene outdoors on a rainy day. So this is our picture, and now let us look at our themes. First, theme 1. Rohit lived in a village where farming was the main livelihood. Farmers were eagerly waiting for the first rainfall so that they can prepare their fields. One afternoon, the clouds burst and showers finally arrived. Rohit went out with his umbrella, smiling as he saw his fields soak. The next morning, he drove the tractor to plow the softened soil. He leveled the field carefully so rainwater could spread evenly. To celebrate the first fall, he arranged a small gathering in the community hall that evening where people brought homemade food, sang folk songs, and shared sweets. Then, after a week, the second rainfall refreshed the land again. Rohit prepared bunds and cleared small channels for smooth flow. He also helped neighbors plow their fields who lacked tractors. When the third shower came, the soil was ready for sowing. Rohit carried seed sacks and sowed row by row with care. Soon, tiny green shoots appeared, filling the village with joy. Rohit's heart was content to witness that. Okay, so those from the rural background will be able to relate to this story. Usually what happens is in the villages, farmers often wait for the first rainfall to arrive so that rain can soften the soil. हमारे यहाँ पे या फिर ऑल्सो कॉमनली इट इज़ कॉल्ड खेत जोतना. तो इट इज़ अ वेरी कॉमन प्रैक्टिस इन विलेजेस. उसमें क्या होता है कि व्हेन द फर्स्ट रेनफॉल अराइव्स द फार्मर्स यूज़ ट्रैक्टर्स दीज डेज. पहले हल होते थे, उसके बाद बैल आए, एंड नाउ ट्रैक्टर्स आर यूज्ड टू खेत को जोतने के लिए. उसके बाद उसमें और 2-3 शार्स का वेट करते हैं लगातार. कुछ इंटरवल के गैप के बाद जब बारिशें आती हैं, देन फाइनली द फार्मर्स यूज सीड्स टू सो देम एंड देन नर्चर देयर क्रॉप्स. सो दिस इज हाउ इट इज़ डन. Okay, so now let us look at the points to observe for our theme 1. First, neutral and positive approach. The story remains free of unnecessary problems and focuses on natural agricultural practices. It highlights rain, farming, and community work in a balanced and hopeful way. There was no, indication of any sort of drought, any sort of floods, or any unnecessary negative problem which was not shown in the picture. Second, connection with the picture. The rural setting and farming actions logically connect to the image context. Rohit carrying an umbrella, plowing fields, and working with other villagers fits naturally with the countryside environment. Third, celebration after the first shower. The addition of villagers celebrating the first rain with sweets, songs, and joy captures the cultural importance of rainfall. It highlights emotional relief before hard work begins, making the story lively and authentic, and it also shows the liveliness of our main hero. Fourth, emotional touch with the land. By going out with an umbrella during the first rain just to see his fields, Rohit's genuine attachment to farming is shown. This adds realism and positivity without exaggeration. Fifth, realistic agricultural sequence. The flow is accurate. First shower soften the soil, next day plowing begins, bund repairs happen after further rains, and sowing after the third rainfall. So this avoids unrealistic shortcuts. Sixth, community oriented actions. Rohit not only works on his own land but also helps farmers who do not own tractors. This shows leadership, cooperation and concern for the progress of all. This is a very common practice in villages कि जिसके पास ट्रैक्टर नहीं होता है तो जिसके पास होता है वो जाके उसे खेत में उसके खेत जो है जोत के आ जाता है. ऑफ कोर्स दे टेक मनी यार, ठीक है, बट नॉट यू डोंट हैव टू मेंशन इट हेयर. Seventh, positive ending. The story closes with crops sprouting, symbolizing hope and prosperity. Rohit's role is portrayed as active, supportive, and optimistic, leading to a constructive conclusion. Remember this, you always have to end your story on a positive note. It does not matter how negative the picture is shown. Okay, include the negative part, but always end on good notes. So this was the explanation of our theme 1. Now let us have a look at our theme 2. Rohit lived in a village where farming was the main occupation. Over the past few years, rainfall had reduced, so villagers had dug small pits in their fields to store water. One afternoon, dark clouds gathered and soon heavy rain started pouring. Rohit quickly went out with his umbrella and reached the pit he had dug in his own field. He saw water rushing in, but also noticed leaves blocking the inlet, so he cleared them immediately. He guided the flowing water with the stick, making sure it entered properly. To stop the sides from breaking, he placed stones and packed soil along the edge. After ensuring his pit was filling smoothly, he moved to help other farmers. He assisted them in clearing debris, strengthening embankments, and directing overflow into nearby ponds. The rain continued for several days, and slowly the pits across the village began to brim with fresh water. The farmers felt secure that the coming season would be safe. Rohit felt proud to see both his field and the community benefit together. Okay, so points to observe regarding our theme 2. First, neutral and positive approach. The story highlights a natural situation of rainfall after scarcity without dramatizing it. It stays balanced, showing both the challenge and the practical response. Like the first story, there is no unnecessary introduction of drought or floods or any unnecessary negative issue. Second, connection with the picture. The scene is rural with villages and farmland. Rohit going out into the rain, managing pits, and helping others logically connects to what would be expected in such a setting. Third, realistic detailing of actions. Rohit's actions, clearing leaves, guiding water with a stick, packing soil, and placing stones, are all small but realistic steps that a farmer would take during rainfall. This grounds the story in practicality. Fourth, community participation. Instead of limiting the story to his own pit, Rohit extended his efforts to other villagers' fields. This shows initiative, cooperation, and leadership in a natural, believable manner. Fifth, logical justification of water collection. By mentioning that the rain continued for several days, the pits filling up completely becomes rational. This avoids the exaggeration of everything happening in one downpour, but it happened gradually after subsequent rainfalls. Sixth, focus on resourcefulness. The narrative emphasizes the wise use of water through harvesting, highlighting foresight and resilience. It reflects planning for sustainability rather than short term relief. Seventh, positive ending. The story closes with the pits brimming, farmers feeling secure, and Rohit proud of contributing to both his family's field and the village community, ensuring a hopeful outcome which is very necessary in a TAT story. Always end on good notes. So friends, this was our theme 2. I have given you 2 themes for this story. It is a very important picture. Most of you have been asking for story on this picture since a very long time. Finally, I have brought you 2 stories. You can use these stories. If you have another one, you can comment in the comment section. I'll go through them and give my opinions on them. Friends, you might have seen a picture in which there are 3 characters, 2 females and 1 male. All 3 of them are almost in the negative mood, and one of the female is almost requesting or crying in front of the man. So if you want story on this picture, it is there on your screen. You can click on it and go through it. So friends, this was our video. I'll see you in the next video. Till then, Jai Hind.